6:00 PM on Tuesday, 27th, 2025. I will call this. It is 6 PM on Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. I'll call this regular town board meeting of the town of La Pointe to order. First is roll call. And Mike Anderson.
Here.
Amy Baxter.
Here.
Susan Brenna.
Here.
Samantha Dobson.
Here.
Glenn Carlson here. We also have our town clerk and our town administrator and members of the public. Is there any public comment? Public comment, okay. Moving on, administrative reports, town administrators report. Does anyone have any questions? Max, on his report? Go ahead, Mike.
Max, on your second line, you have insurance coverage for new rescue jet ski. So, if whoever the rescuer is on the jet ski, our insurance covers them. Do they, I mean, and so the person that they're rescuing, how does that work under insurance? Or is that person covered under the ambulance then because they're being rescued?
Well, the way Horton is approaching, they're actually insuring the vehicle. It's not the liability for what happened. It's like insuring a truck or a car. That's what Horton is working on. And they're struggling with it. I don't think this is normal, a jet ski that's being used as a rescue. So we had to provide them a lot of information, but it is like insuring a car. It's insurance on the vehicle. I think if you're asking me what happens if we nothing goes wrong with the jet ski, but we screw up the rescue, I think the town would be liable under our commercial general liability, not the insurance on the vehicle. I mean, imagine even like if they bang the thing into a dock or hit another boat or something like that, and their damage created by the jet ski. That's what this insurance that she wants, that they're working on.
I guess what I'm talking about is, like, let's just say, for instance, let's say this summer, because this is the first year we ever had an ice rescue or the rescue, the ice, but rescue jet ski. So if they're bringing in someone who's in front of the beach club and they were drowning or something, and they're bringing them in and they run into another boat, and the person says they were fine until they hit that boat and then they got injured. So is that our liability under our ambulance that covers that?
That's, yeah, I don't know. Actually, I suppose although it's owned by the fire department, but it's the liability that the town insurance that the town has that covers any of our departments. Yeah. Police, ambulance, fire, that blanket policy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would just make sure that they, but that would make sure that that's covered, It's all new to us, so I don't.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Max. Any other questions? Steve, any other questions on Max's report?
I have a question, Max. Under number 2, where it says rewrite personnel policy manual with additional language addressing sexual abuse and misconduct in custodial situation, without a lot of details, has something happened that is causing us to need to do this?
No, it's just, again, Horton reached out to us, wanted to know if we had that kind of language in our personnel policy, and we didn't.
Okay.
So she gave me proposed language or standard language that we have to put in.
Okay, thank you.
I got one more question.
Go ahead, Mike.
Max, are you planning on going to that June 2nd meeting?
Yes.
All right, okay, good.
Yeah.
Good for you. That was.
Okay, any other questions, comments from Max? Okay, unanimous consent to place his report on file?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Moving on, Public Works, Road, Stock and Harbor, we're requested to approve a seasonal CDL driver, Scott Gerberick, at $28 per hour. not to exceed 600 hours, beginning June 1st and ending no later than September 30th. Can we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to hire Scott Kubrick as a seasonal CDL driver at $28 an hour, not to exceed $600.
A second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Next, Parks, clarify the transfer of Parks 3 to Parks 2. And this was the person who was hired for Parks 2 took another job. So we've decided to have the person that was hired for Parks 3 fill the Parks 2 position. Do we need a motion?
Yeah, just a motion, for the specific guy for his rate of pay, because it changes from 18 to 20, and then we'll wait for 3 to 2.
Okay, and that person is
Trevor,
Kruger.
Yes.
yes.
I'll make a motion that we change the person from Trevor, what the last? Kruger, from Parks 3 to fill the Parks 2 position.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
In the new pay rate, right?
Yeah, the 20 an hour. Yeah.
With the new pay rate of $20.
Yeah, yeah, that's what the Parks 2 position was. Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, moving on, Murph, purchase order for the annual compactor baler inspection for $1,582.50, and it is in the budget and so marked.
But I have a question.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase for the compost baler inspection combination, $1,582.50. And I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do you want to wait? till-
Well, is there a second? Go ahead, Mike.
So why are we being charged tax when we're tax exempt? We're charged $82.50 for tax and we're tax exempt.
That's a great question.
Mhm.
Didn't notice that.
Well, the only thing I could figure is that they meant to put it under the line for freight and handling, and they put it under tax. Because that, I mean, I don't know the answer, I'm just saying,
It is actually that 8250 is 5.5% of the 1,500. So it probably
it comes
is,
out the tax.
it comes up to the tax. Right.
Yeah, we're taxed.
So do we have an amendment to the motion to authorize $1,500 for the inspection?
I'll make a motion to approve spending $1,500 and exempting the tax because we're taxed.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Any further discussion? Good catch, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next on the agenda is approval of the Trek and Trail lease agreement. This is property that was owned by the Ferry Line. And it's been approved already by the Harbor Commission, but because it's a lease agreement, we need to also approve it. And so if there is a motion to approve the 1-year term with option to renew for a rent in the summer of $1,300 a month and in the winter of $525 a month. And we do have the lease agreement here. Anyone has any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the lease agreement for the town of La Pointe and Lee Shore Kayaking LLC. Second.
Oh, different question.
Been seconded. Any question?
The question I have is the price difference during the winter months because there's no kayaking, bro? Is that, okay?
And we get to use the parking lot.
Right, that too. Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next is Miffle Harbor Commission assets for the spring 2025 auction, and that is included in the listing for the town's with the towns. The big thing that I'm aware of is the truck, refrigerated truck that we now are putting in as a minimum bid of 20,000, which is a decrease from what we had been unsuccessful with the last time. 2,000 decrease, yes. So is there a motion to approve the Miffle / Harbor Commission action item? Is
Just include the refrigeration truck in it.
Metal desk and the dual computer screen mount is also.
okay. Okay. The dual screen computer mount and the metal desk also. A motion to,
I'll make a motion to approve the sale, to include the sales from the Miffle Harbor Commission assets for the spring of 25 auction list.
is there a second? It's been seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a raft of committee minutes. Last month, does anyone have any questions or comments on any of the committee minutes?
I just noticed something and I don't think anyone can answer, but in the library board minutes, they hire the winter rec director for April to September. And I don't-
All right.
It's specific dates, so I'm just curious if why.
Okay, Max, can you look and follow up on that? Thanks. Any other questions or comments on committee minutes? All right, is there unanimous consent to place those on file?
Yeah.
Yes. Moving on, budget summary report for the, through April 30th. Does anyone have any questions or comments on that? I will note that the fire department is over their budget for fire equipment and for turnout gear. And so I would expect we won't be seeing any more expenditures on those line items for the rest of the year. I also noticed that we've got under capital, there is still 105,000 remaining in the local roads capital outlay. And my recollection is that that line item was really cover the final billing on the Hagen Road project. And I'm just we don't need an answer right now. It's on the bottom of page, towards the bottom of page 9, Max. The 110.5. Should we be expecting another bill? Or is that, are we done with that? I need that, okay. Because that would be lovely to know that we are not going to spend that 105,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I had. Does anyone else have any questions or comments on the budget summary report? We have a motion to approve the budget summary report.
Make a motion that we budget summary report is this.
There's second. Moved and second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, the remaining items that were on the auction list that are the town's items, we need a separate motion to approve those items going up for auction.
I make a motion to approve the 2025 spring auction list as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have approved the services agreement for the 4th of July fireworks.
Is this a new company? I remember this one.
Don't we do Alan Hardy's police first?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. I skipped C. Let's move back. The Allen Hardy Industrial Zone Lot Lease.
I'll make a motion to approve Alan Hardy's lease of lot number 4.
I'll second.
Seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now we're moving to the services agreement for the 4th of July fireworks. And I don't know if if this is a new company or not. Mostly this transaction is between the Chamber of Commerce and the fireworks company. The town is merely serving as a conduit for collecting contributions for that, which enables people's contributions to be tax deductible. And so we are, though still legally the party that contracts with this firm.
I was just being curious because there was people complaining about the noise of fireworks. I didn't know if this was a silenter company.
That's
why I was asking.
I think that
Does
this,
the chamber is the board who decides what type of fireworks happens? Just prompting on, there's been a couple of Gazette articles with alternative ideas. I'm just curious if
yeah, I mean,
there's
that's,
discussion.
it really is a chamber
Mhm.
thing. And I mean, if we feel strongly about it, obviously we would have some leverage with them since we are essentially the fiscal agent. But I haven't, I'm not aware of their
Yeah.
discussions.
It seems to be going to the Gazette and not
Us.
us.
It
So
does.
If
Yeah.
that were to change.
Yeah, I mean, they really should just send it to the chamber,
Yeah.
I would think, but
Okay.
good question.
Well, I think we get it because they have to get the permit from us.
Yeah.
We authorize them to shoot the fireworks off.
Mhm.
So that's why they sent it to us. No,
Okay.
that's why.
Okay, any other questions? Do we have a motion?
No.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement with Image Engineering in the town of Plain.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Well, just if Max gets the opportunity to ask the chamber about what we just discussed, if there's alternatives.
Yeah, they received.
If they've received any, we have. And we never acted on them, but just, get the opportunity to ask them.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Next item, next two items, actually, I'd like to postpone discussion, and this is the easement with Xcel Energy, both for the Ashland side and the Bayfield side. This is for the new underwater cable. Well, we're the Ashland side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the ferry side is the Bayfield side. And I brought this up relatively late with Max. So we haven't had much time to do research, but the thought was to investigate whether or not the town should be compensated for granting these easements. And currently the agreements don't provide compensation. But we are looking into that.
Ever called into that Katie.
Katie, okay,
The Wisconsin Town Association wasn't, they didn't have any guidance, but that Katie P, that lawyer.
okay, great, thank you. So is there a motion to postpone this until our next meeting?
I'll make a motion. We postpone 5E and F until our next regular town board meeting.
I will second it with discussion.
Okay, discussion?
So the reason that they want the easements is for laying the cable, right?
Yeah.
And that's how we get our power.
Correct.
So that's probably why there's no compensation. If we want power, they have to cross our property to get it.
Yeah, but that is true with a lot of municipalities as well. So I mean, it doesn't hurt us to ask.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is my thinking, and unless you're aware that they are.
Thing I found is that if they already have an easement and they're just using similar use,
Mhm,
same easement, you
mhm.
don't get any new counts, you don't get any counts,
Got
I
it.
think, but I'll get the word.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the award of the tennis court resurfacing bid. We opened those bids at the last meeting, and the low bidder was Tennis West. Just so everyone is aware that Ken Myrie has assured us that he has funding for 1/2 of the amount that's in the contract.
I will make a motion to award the contract to Tennis West for $37,527.
A second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, vouchers.
I will make a motion. Want the vouchers? I will make a motion to approve the vouchers in the amount of $33,009.97.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, alternative claims.
I will make a motion to approve the alternative claims in the amount of $1,978.49.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, treasurer's report.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report for the checking account balance of $466,539.92.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next, minutes from the regular town board meeting of May 13th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular town board meeting of May 13th.
I will second that with discussion.
Okay, discussion?
Alex, on page 2, under, Public Works, Airport number C, you didn't put down who made the motion or seconded, the motion, just put 5 ayes.
Thanks.
All right. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Mike. So we have a motion and second with the correction. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I have
Opposed?
one thing
Oh.
to say about that, because
Go ahead.
does it say 5 ayes? Because I wasn't.
It says 4 ayes.
Oh, 4, okay. Sorry.
Nope. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, emergency services. I'm not aware of anything on that. Next item, public comment B. Do we have any?
I just want to
Sam?
give a thank you to the MRF and Evan for going through with the May cleanup, and acting on that pretty quickly. So appreciate it. Look
Yeah.
forward to hearing all they did.
I'd like to make a public comment to thank Ken Myrie and his group of people, whoever they were, to pay for half of the resurfacing of the tennis courts.
Mhm.
My understanding it is the Michael family fund at the Duluth Superior Area Community Fund and the Grutzner family fund have each contributed $5,000, and I believe Ken may individually have made up the difference, or there may be some other people who have.
Chunk of change.
It is, and considering that we had the need and the obligation to have someone else pay for half of it, I think is wonderful. Any other public comment, Max?
I had a debriefing with the Madeline Marathon people at OSA. That was Sunday. During that meeting, one board member quit. And I was asked to join the board, so I'm just disclosing that at this point, I'm a board member for the Madeline.
Thank you, Max. And congratulations.
I just didn't have enough.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Okay, any other public comment? All right, moving on, liquor licenses. We have a couple, I believe. Non-intoxicating beverage license for Adventure Vacations. And Bird's Nest Birdie Palace. Has the outstanding obligation been taken? Okay, so we're just going to vote on the Adventure Vacations non-intoxicating beverage license.
I'll make a motion to approve Adventure Vacations Incorporated for non-intoxicating beverage license.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Okay.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, lawsuits and legal. Max,
Nothing.
yeah. And we're waiting. Okay, new agenda items for future meetings. Alex?
There'll be a lot of solar licenses. And then compensation. I'll use taking over for Phil.
The other?
Is Bill gonna be back?
She said lease agreements from Excel, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And obviously, we're not going to set the agenda for another week or so. So if anyone has anything to add in the meantime, let Alex or me or Max know.
This needs to be signed.
Yes, we do need to sign the fund purchase order, and so lease is, I think, just me. Moving on. Any other future agenda items? Okay, next item on the agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Moved and seconded and thirded. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carries, meeting's adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank